Hello, this is Valerie Aiello, and you're listening to Idea Diary. Thanks for coming back to my office and hanging out. All right, so we're going over the self-love mindset, business mindset, money mindset, kind of my mindset overview sheet that I keep with me. I just add new tips and tricks and things that I hear, sayings, and talks and videos and interviews, things that kind of really change my brain and help me, I guess, become more positive, kind of feel better. Because a lot of times people have failure fatigue, and there's this one woman that called it expectation hangover. Yeah, sometimes it's really hard, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you feel like a loser and everyone seems to be maybe so much further ahead than you. You get big wins, but it's still, not everything is necessarily so easy as everyone else when you are deciding to create your own paycheck in a way, or kind of give up the corporate stuff and the paycheck worlds to making your own money. It's a really different game. It can be very depressing sometimes, but overall, if it's something that you want to do, it's pretty good. I'm going to go over my money mindset things. This is the one of 3 videos in these little 3-episode spread, I guess. I don't know. But the really important thing with money advice or money tips or anything like that, I'm not giving any financial advice. I'm not a financial professional. I am just giving you some positive mindset tools that definitely help me. Everybody has different expectations. Everyone has different things that they enjoy doing. Everyone has different levels of skills and what they can do, and with all the different ways that somebody can make money. There really isn't one way to do it and have somebody say that's the way you make a bunch of money, because there's just so many ways that it's possible, and so many different personality traits and things that people like doing or don't like doing, so there isn't just one way. So these money mindset tools are just things that keep me positive and keep me going. Number 1 is money is energy. If your energy is good, then your money will probably be good too. So good energy equals good results. I know this is kind of woo-woo, which I need a replacement word for that because I don't like that word. But just for communicating, I know money being energy feels really annoying to hear. I do definitely have kind of proof in my own life when I'm in a certain mindset and feeling positive. It's not necessarily because of money, but when I decide to kind of shift my energy into thinking positive, even if it's hard to explain because when your bank account's low, that's all you can think about. It's been a little bit of time since I've been in that situation, but anything can happen to anybody. And I know now that if I were ever in that situation again where the bank account was low and I had to worry about every single bill, I would definitely keep my energy high and keep it positive, because I know that would just help the situation. Even if things seem bleak, you gotta keep it positive and keep your energy high. Number 2, wanting money only results in wanting money. Now, someone said this in a speech and it just really clicked for me. So a little bit more on that is, if you have to think about it, meaning money, just focus on the positive ways you will use and organize all your money. Organize and prepare as if you have your ideal budget. For some reason, the idea, like I was talking about before, if I just kind of stick in that mindset, I don't have, every bill's a struggle, everything's a struggle, kind of, if I just stop wanting money, then for some reason, I know it sounds crazy, it's not some magical trick, but enjoying what I have, being grateful, figuring out if I didn't have enough money to buy every single recipe that I want, I figure out how to make it super enjoyable, buying cheap groceries and planning out affordable meals. I keep it positive and I keep it fun, and I've stopped wanting money because it does feel like wanting money just kind of leaves you wanting more money. I know that's a little woo-woo too, but just stick with me. Number 3, money is not the reward. Money is the result. If you want more, you need to give more of your creativity to the world and produce more stuff. Money is not the reward. I definitely follow that mantra, and money is just the result. So that goes along with me not focusing on wanting more money and wanting more money, because I did that for a long time, and then when I kind of let that go, it seemed like more money came to me. Just think about whatever you decide to do and whatever you're doing, and if you're designing your life and you're designing your day, think about the work being the reward and the money is just a result. So when you kind of shift money being the most important thing, then somehow it's like a healthier mindset. It keeps you, just happier when money isn't this super important thing. Focusing on what you're doing and enjoying yourself. And that comes with making money. We definitely don't want to just work for free constantly, but thinking about the happiness is the reward and the money is just a result. Number 4, financial security is inside you. You can be successful without needing an outside paycheck or client work. So this is something that I had to work on, and I guess I'm still working on it. When I quit my corporate job and I went freelance, I had to just kind of believe that jobs would come, and it was the last time I got a paycheck was in July 2nd, 2007. Definitely didn't have a lot of money, but I definitely could every single month pay my bills in some way, shape, or form, being a freelance graphic designer. And I did a lot of weird things. I worked on a movie set. I like painting, so I definitely I really enjoyed getting painting gigs, mainly painting on walls and stuff, just kind of just weird stuff. But my main thing was I was a freelance graphic designer. But the financial security part, I just kind of slowly got confidence that I could make money every month just doing whatever, using my skills and my brain. And ultimately, I just have the confidence that the financial security is inside of me. And now I'm working on kind of the next level of that, rather than just making the money that I need every month. I'm still trying to make goals happen and trying to figure everything out with making the big bucks. But I definitely have the financial security is inside me feeling. I know that's not something you can necessarily teach somebody. You got to figure it out on your own. It's just like confidence, but it does come. It is possible that you can feel like you have everything you need in your brain to be financially secure. Number 5, money is like the weather. Seasons change. Don't pray for rain, meaning money. Just prepare for rain, meaning money. It's always coming to you. I really like this idea when it comes to money. Sometimes if you're in a downtime and you're struggling, you got to remember money is kind of like the weather in the way that, sometimes it's going to rain. Sometimes you're going to have a drought. Sometimes you're going to have perfect weather. Sometimes it's going to be intense. But overall, it's just kind of life. And I'm sure there's some people that just everything's always perfect and they never have any chaos or anything like that. But I feel like for normal people, there are times when you're making money and times when maybe it's a crunch time and you can't spend anything because you got to save it all. I think with the apocalypse happening and people are figuring out a lot of different ways to really prepare. And I think we've had kind of a shift on our thinking processes and security and be prepared and all different factors of life. seasons change, and you might have good times, you might have bad times, but there's always going to be kind of a cycle. And if you're going through a bad time, just like know it's going to come back around. Just keep working hard. Number 6, dumb people can make a ton of money. I think I remember who said that, but I'm not totally sure. Hearing somebody really successful kind of tell you that they know a whole lot of successful people and not all of them are geniuses, some of them aren't very smart, is, I don't know, kind of refreshing. You don't have to be a genius to make a ton of money. So don't let that kind of negative self-talk that maybe you're not smart enough, maybe you're not good enough. Don't let that inside you, because it's just not a thing. Like, it has nothing to do with how smart you are, with how much money you make. All right. Number 7 is retirement is not real. I think it might be a Robert Kiyosaki thing. I don't know. But basically the phrase retirement is not real really resonated with me, because it's something that I feel like I'm already living the life of a retired person, but I'm constantly working. I don't think you ever stop working. I don't think you ever stop researching. There's always something new to do. There's always something new to learn and maybe invest in. And then that goes into the like feeling comfortable. And if something's really interesting, do you gamble at all? Maybe not if you don't want to, but who knows? Just retirement isn't real. Your brain doesn't stop working. Your dreams don't stop happening. I personally have definitely 5-year and 10-year goals. I have things that I want to accomplish with every decade. So I have the 50-year-old goals, like things that I want to do in my 50s, things I want to do in my 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I have all these business ideas that some are more strenuous, some are more relaxing, but it all kind of has to do with making money, using my skills and using my talent. And I kind of don't ever want to stop working. And I don't think that you have to. And I think people obsessing over being retired is it's not real. I think that honestly, if you can figure out how to live as cheap as possible today, you can retire right now, because there's a way for you to live a minimalist life and do whatever you want. Like, I know that seems hard for some people to imagine, but if bills are stressing you out and your rent's high and you live in an expensive city, or all the things, and there are fun ways that you can minimize all your expenses and retire now. It's not financial advice. I'm not saying anything specific, but if money's bringing you down and stress of doing a bunch of stuff you don't want to do, there is a way to figure out a new solution and retire today. You can figure it out. I believe that everyone can potentially figure it out. Number 8, don't work for money. Don't position yourself to have to do what you don't want to do for money. So I feel like this was Gary Vee saying, probably mixed with Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know. Don't work for money thing, really resonated with me, especially when I quit doing freelance. I did freelance work for way too long. I should have quit so much sooner. And I did try to quit. It just didn't. It was hard for whatever reason. An interesting job would come up or something would come up and I would take it. And then that would just like put me back in a loop. It wasn't that I hated doing freelance work, but I was using all my brain and using creative energy of hours that I was awake working on other people's projects and not on my own. So I really had to put my foot down and say, I do not work for money. I work for freedom and for fun. And the money is just the results. And you can have a paycheck. Having a paycheck does not mean you're not an entrepreneur. I hate the assumption of that. There's 1,000,001 ways to be an entrepreneur. Having a paycheck, having client gigs, selling product, having royalties, getting capital gains or getting business dividends. There's so many different ways to make money. For me, kind of just putting the flag in the ground saying I don't work for money really helps me push forward, and My passion is creating successful products that are cool and fun. That's what I want to do. So that's what I'm doing. And that's what I do every day. That's what works for my brain. I wish I could have a day job, and that would certainly make life a lot easier, but I've just never been that type of person. I can't go to work and be in school. I never could. Just needed to be in full-time school with as many classes jammed in there as possible, or I needed to work. I never could kind of balance the two. I know there's plenty of people that do it and love it. Translate don't work for money in the way that works for you. Something might happen where it transforms in your mind to make sense for whoever you are and whatever you do. Number 9, financial education is your greatest wealth. You will never fear losing it all once you know exactly how to make it. This kind of goes with the financial security thing. There's that saying that the first million's the hardest. Once you kind of make 10 million, you just have the confidence to know you can lose it over and over again. James Altucher, I believe he lost millions of dollars over and over again. And, there are tons of really successful people that make mistakes and they lose it. And then they're kind of on a fast track to knowing how to make it again. And then they might lose it again, and then they know how to make it again. Just kind of knowing that financial education is the wealth, I don't know, just makes me feel comforted. And obviously I love learning, and my learning process, I'm more of a doer. I have to do it to learn rather than read about it. I'm definitely a doer when it comes to my learning methods. I've got to do it. I'm building my financial education as I make money. So there's that. Number 10 is give your greatest gifts, not money. Figure out how to help others. Being freelance, it was very hard to kind of donate things or donate money because it was just, I worked for every dollar that I had. So when I heard somebody say, just give your greatest gifts, you don't have to give money, I feel like that really resonated with me and kind of made me feel like, oh, okay. So I definitely sat down and I tried to think of all the things that I could give for my talents and whatever is inside me. I try to donate logos when I can. I try to just, if I see people that want to have their own business and I can kind of give them some marketing plans and different things, I try to give my gifts instead of worrying about donating money, which I hope to do someday too. Yeah, it's not always easy to donate money, but you don't have to. You can give your gifts, your skills and things in your brain. So that's my mindset overview sheet. So like I said, I just cleaned this up, and I've already have new things written down that I run into, but I keep a piece of paper, a cardstock printed piece of paper that has all my kind of self-love, business, and money mindset things that I come across just living. And I just keep them on one sheet of paper, and I keep it in my little file folder that I kind of take with me everywhere in my desk. It just helps me. Sometimes I don't look at this thing for months, and then sometimes I'll pull it out. Sometimes I'll share it with people, just in real life, in person. It's a nice tool. It keeps things that, you might have heard 5 years ago, but that you always want to remember it, and you kind of just put it on your little mindset memoirs, and you just keep it with you. And I think it's helpful. Maybe try it if it's something that you want to do. Hopefully these shows aren't too long and too boring, but I'm coming back. I'm still working on my podcasting skills, so thank you for bearing with me. If you have watched these 3 episodes, they should be fine as standalone too. It's not necessarily that you watch all 3. This was just an idea that I thought to share, and 3 extra shows to produce this week. All right, I guess that's the end of the show. I still don't know how to end the show, so I'm just going to play the music.